A new season is about to start, and people have often asked me, well, we want to see more of how you prepare. So today's show, we're going to take a look at our shortfalls and how we address them. My name is Daljit, this is Bustthenet. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button to stay in touch for more videos like this. Whenever a side is promoted, you have to divorce emotion from your player selections. An area of our game that I think we need to strengthen is our defenders, because once you get promoted, you gotta increase the quality of your defense, because the important thing here is to keep getting draws. I mean, make sure you don't lose. So one of the first things I did was I went to my chairman again and I said, hey, do you have any players to recommend? So my chairman did recommend some players, and we've managed to add a couple of players. One of them is Kieran Harrison. He's a defender. He's got very good jumping reach. He's better than anybody in my team. He's got good solid determination. Who knows, maybe in a couple of seasons he could still be in our club and become a team leader. And then we've got this guy called Danny Greenslade. This was the chairman's recommendation as well. So we've got a fullback now who's got a lot of 10s. And basically, when I get promoted, I'm looking at looking at 10 as an attribute to reach. And he's got a lot of 10s in interesting areas. So naturally, he doesn't have them everywhere, but at least it's better than nothing. We've also added Jesse Debra, who's got 14 for jumping reach, because defenders, as long as they've got very good jumping reach, you're okay. We'll have to work on his heading as well. So then we got Archie Ellamore, who's a striker. We wanted to add players in the striking department as well, and Dipo Ekiniemi, who's been in our radar for one season already. Since last season, the scouts have been recommending him to us. The only downside with him is that if he plays back to goal as a target man, I might have some issues. Other players that have been added, they've all gone into our short list. We have an area of our team that we have to improve, and that is the central midfield department. The only thing right now is that I've got to play with our finances. Now, once I got promoted, we got a wage budget, an increase in the wage budget. Now, when you have an increase in a wage budget, you definitely have some left over for your transfer budget. But first things first, we have to go through our squad and determine who's staying and who's leaving, and who doesn't get extensions in contracts. Last season, Javane Smith, in terms of his statistics, form, he did pretty well. When I looked at the numbers, he had one of the best conversion rates in the team. Towards the end of last season, I did a show where I postulated that this guy has got the best conversion rate. If I give him enough chances this season, he might do a lot better. So Javane Smith was offered a new contract. Elliot Romaine hasn't been offered a new contract, even though he played as one of the mainstays in the team. But I'm going to keep him because he's got a fairly determined personality, which brings me to my second point. I have to start mentoring players. Now, we've got a lot of low determination players. So even a balanced player with a high determination is going to be a mentor right now, because we want to group these players up. Even a small boost in determination could go a long way. I don't know which of these players is going to end up with us the following season, but I can't I just want to cover every single base I can possibly cover. So the players that are gonna be with us this season: Harry Osborne, I'm gonna move him to the right flank as an auxiliary fullback and get him to work on his crossing. Fabio Saraiva, now this is, we can't afford to let him go, so we offered him a new contract. He's a squad player on £32,000 per week. Leo Chambers and Leo Chambers is like cover, so I'm not gonna give him a new contract. I'm just gonna leave him as, leave him there. If he wants to go to another club, he can go to another club. Elliot Romaine, same thing. He's gonna be a mentor. If he wants to leave for another club, he can leave for another club. Then we've got a Dipo Ekiniemi. Okay, we signed him. We gave him a contract. Hopefully he doesn't come back and bite me in my ass. Jesse Debra, one of the defenders that we signed, we've given him a new contract. Then we got Archie Ellamore. Now Archie Ellamore, when I'm looking at his attributes, it's going to be a good fight between Javane and Archie. I'm almost tempted to go with a 4-3-3 this season, like basically a narrow 4-3-3. Very, very tempted to, because I probably have the 3 strikers to do it with. Then we got Kai Woolard Innocent. I've also offered him a new contract, because here again, he only has acceleration going for him, but he's got good decisions, right? Now, last season when we were playing a lot of games, he was playing those killer passes from the back, so I might have the problem with me right now is I know how to make a playmaking fullback, but I can't do it just yet because I don't have enough training sessions in a week to do it with, do them in. So Kai Bullard Innocent, well, as long as we can keep him, we'll try and keep him because physically he has the attributes to play in the role. So we've looked at some of these players, and only a handful of players were given extensions to contracts. So a lot of these other players, like Joe Slynn was our man of the match last season. I can't afford to let him go. He's still the first choice goalkeeper going forward. Even though there's a big voice in my head saying, well, he may have been man of the match for a short while, but he might, we might have some issues with him. And George Windsor, we extended his loan last season because we still have a problem in the heart of midfield, but his positioning is 10. His off the ball is fantastically 0. So we probably need to be now out there looking for another midfielder. So these are the only players right now worth keeping. The rest of the players, right, all these other players, Gasso, Joshua Webb, Ollie Cook, even Michael West haven't extended his contract. So all these players haven't had their contracts extended, and some of them are star players like Ollie Cook. Now, the only reason why I'm going to keep Ollie Cook in the team, even though he's got a lot of 10s, is probably if I can use him as a defensive midfielder. So we're retraining Ollie Cook. So Ollie Cook is going to be retrained as a defensive midfielder, and that's the only way he's going to stay in the club. Michael West has been our midfield inverted winger on the right flank. Can he still play that position? I don't know. So we're out there looking for potentially another right-sided midfielder who has got off the ball, passing, vision, and decisions. He has those attributes. He just doesn't happen to be too fast. So in terms of positioning, he's very weak. This could be a liability for us. So Michael West doesn't get a new contract. Leo Chambers not going to get a contract extension, even though he is an important player, so I'm willing to take the risk. Callum Fulwood, youngster, breakthrough prospect, we're going to leave him as he is because he's got a non-playing contract. So we're going to leave him there, let him develop. Maybe he might have a chance to prove himself. Reece William-Bowe, Simon Cooper, all these players, they're not going to get contracts from me. Even Declan Apo is also a breakthrough prospect. Hopefully, he has a chance to assert himself off the ball, positioning, passing, vision, decisions. He might, provided his decisions go up, but with the way the game is set up for lower league management, you can't expect these attributes to go up, right? So you got to be realistic with these players. So we've also added all these players on trial. So we're gonna try and evaluate to see whether or not any of these players can make it into our first team. Clovis Kamjo, another chairman's recommendation, but this guy, well, the chairman doesn't always get it right. He's got positioning, he's got teamwork, he's got marking. He could play as a very good defensive midfielder who doesn't run around because his acceleration is pretty poor, so he's not going to cover a lot of ground. If you play with a low acceleration player, you need good anticipation. He doesn't have good anticipation, nor does he have excellent concentration, so he's probably going to be a liability. So he's not going to be making it. Teddy Baker, again, you want players to bite. He's got low bravery, so he's out. So these two players, we're going to terminate their trials immediately. There's no point keeping them in the club. Then we've got Taylor Miles. Taylor Miles doesn't look half bad, but he's very, very slow, right? Again, runs with ball to the center at a slow clip. Everybody's going to catch up with him. But he may be good at free kicks, but nah, we can't keep him. Shaquille Jones-Griffith is going to be a player that we have to sign. Right? Because he has the abilities, he has the off the ball, he has the positioning, he has the teamwork, the vision, the work rate. All I got to do is work on his passing, right? So this player definitely is going to be somebody that we want to keep. He's wanted by Hyde, so we're going to keep him in the club, try him out in a couple of matches and make sure that we sign him. Harry Donovan is a very familiar name because I have played him, I have signed him before, and I've used him before. However, based on what I'm seeing at the moment, he's weak positioning, but he has off the ball, he has decisions. I'm waiting to see what the final number is because this player could end up being another one of the players that we sign. But then we've got Allison Wright. We've just brought him into the club. We haven't seen what he can do, but the problem with him is that I already see his bravery at 1 to 4, so he's going. All I need to know is his bravery. The number is too low. Whereas Harry Donovan, his bravery is 9 to 11. I'm just opening up the rest because it could be that we will be signing Harry Donovan. Rob Sinclair, he's on trial. Can't see enough of his attributes. I need to see positioning because his passing is 12 to 8. So Rob Sinclair, another player. Some of these players are at other clubs, but his personality is professional. Could play a big. He could play a big part, right? If his numbers turn out to be worth signing. Then we got this Will Tonking, whose nationality is from Chinese Taipei. So we got this Taiwanese player, Will Donkin, who could be a very interesting signing. He's already made 16 international appearances for his country. So he's playing the lower leagues. Could he possibly be one of our first international signings? I don't know, man. Will Donkin. We have to take a look at him as well. Tawanda Maswan Hees, another player. Very nice flair, 10 to 17. I immediately get attracted to numbers like this. This is my problem. Good acceleration, potentially quite decent. He doesn't appear to have very good jumping reach. We'll have to trial him and unlock the rest of his attributes. And then we got David Mil Abu. Now the reason is, the thing here is that the moment I saw acceleration 13 to 19 with good aggression, I was thinking to myself, this guy could be a very good target, man. Now I've already put in a bid for him because Leighton Orient are also after him. So the moment I saw the name Leighton Orient, and Leighton Orient might be after the same player, I went in immediately. This is a blind bid, right? Because I'm only looking at certain attributes. And this is the thing about the game as well. Sometimes you got to take a chance. And this is the reason why a lot of my existing players don't have contracts. I'm building a new spine, and the new spine is just made up of these players. So I got players like Dan Derbyshire, okay, who potentially could be he also could be a really good striker, because when I played him last season, his conversion rate was also not too bad, because last year he scored quite a few goals. He scored 12 goals out of 32 appearances. Now it's pretty hard now to see the conversion rate. So last season, when I was doing the analysis, it was more important for me last season, because I could actually go into games and start looking at his conversion rate, because I'm looking for players who've got very good shots on target ratio of at least 50% to 60%, which is already very hard to achieve in the game. But more importantly, the big chance conversion rate. And these are things I have to do myself, because the game doesn't give you this information. You have to be meticulous about your own metrics. And if I follow CCCs in this game, I'll probably get very, very deluded. So you got to look at the chances that you're creating for your team, and you've got to make sure that you identifying the right kind of chances. I find that my metric makes the most sense, right? I rule out all headers, I rule out set pieces, I rule out corners, and I only look at open play. And when it comes to open play, I'm only looking at the golden zone. I don't look at any other zone. So if I can put my players into the golden zone, then I start identifying the number of chances they are taking from that golden zone. And if their conversion rate is good in the golden zone, I immediately offer them a contract. So that makes it a lot easier, because then I only look at how I create chances. And I looked at my tactic. Kingsbourne makes really good chance, can create really good chances for them inside the box. So Dan Derbyshire is one of those players who was able to break behind defensive lines last season and finish a lot of 1v1 chances. A lot of his chances were 1v1, and he was nailing every 1v1 that came at him. So Dan Derbyshire, maybe he could be a star this season, but this gives me 4 options in the strikers department. So we've got all these players in, and so now preseason becomes a period where I start unlocking these traits very carefully. And I'm not signing, so I'm being very, very patient with how I sign my players. I've got another 2 weeks to go. If the contracts work out, I will sign those players that I want to, and I'll be using this very carefully. This wage budget and this balancing act is critical, and I'm going to leave myself some room. If I can get other players in, that'll be good. So how much do I have left? I probably can sign 2 midfielders at about £40,000 per week. That's £80,000. So I've got 480, so I got 500. So basically I only have £50,000 per annum to play with, right? So if I drop this to 50,000, so if I go down to 500, I potentially only have a transfer budget of 50,000. So if I'm interested in signing any player, I have a budget of 40,000 pounds per week. This gives me some room, but that will leave me with a with a big group of players who don't get contracts. So this is the point in time in this week where I start being very, very careful of who I offer a new contract to. And that is the way you manage your movement from one league to the next league. You don't sign everybody, right? You're going to get these notifications from your assistant manager that says, oh, you've got all these players, their contracts are coming to an end soon. Do you want to extend their contracts? I usually don't. I wait until, like, I don't care if their contracts expire. But those players who have done really well last season, like Javane Smith, Fabio Saraiva, these are the players I will offer contracts to. So those players automatically got contracts. Kieran Harrison is a bit unhappy. We just signed him and he's worried already that his position is under threat. Now I'm looking at him, I'm going, nah, he's not going to be a problem. For him to play this season, I doubt it, because he's got a lot of things going for him. The first thing, he's fairly determined. He's got very good personality for lower league football. Secondly, he's got all the right attributes. In fact, I'm banking on him to be the main defender that we have. And I'm hoping that we can go a long way with this team. So it's a pretty quick update on the status of where we are. We're still in that juggling bit where we have to juggle our finances, and we've got to make certain hard decisions on who to sign and who not to sign. It's a lot of gambling. I'm gambling in the dark, and I'm hoping that we do okay. But how will we do? What is our squad gonna look like for the first game of the season? That will be on the next show. I hope you've enjoyed today's edition of the Kingstonian Diaries. If you have any questions, please look me up on Twitter at Bustthenet or addicted2fm.com, my website. Once again, everybody, thank you for your support. You keep these kind of shows going on the channel. I hope you guys have a good day. Take care. I'll catch up with you soon. Bye-bye.